The Parable of the Workers in the Vineyard. Based on Matthew 20:1-16, have you ever been upset because someone else got the same reward as you, even though you worked harder? Jesus told a story to teach us about fairness, kindness, and God's amazing love. One day, Jesus said, "The kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay them 1 silver coin for a full day's work, and they gladly started working. Later that morning, around 9 o'clock, the landowner went back to the market and saw more people standing around with no work. 'You can come and work in my vineyard too,' he said. 'I'll pay you what's fair.' He did the same at noon and again at 3 o'clock. Even at 5 o'clock, just 1 hour before the workday ended, he saw some people still waiting. 'Why aren't you working?' he asked. 'No one hired us,' they replied. 'Come and work in my vineyard,' he said. At the end of the day, the landowner called the workers together to pay them. He started with those who worked for only 1 hour and gave them each 1 silver coin. The workers who had been there all day saw this and thought, 'If they got 1 coin, we'll get even more.' But when it was their turn, they also received 1 silver coin. They grumbled, 'That's not fair. We worked all day in the hot sun, and they worked only an hour.' The landowner replied, 'Friend, I didn't cheat you. You agreed to work for 1 coin, and that's what I paid you. Can't I be generous with my money? Or are you upset because I'm kind to others?" What does this story mean? Jesus told this story to show us that God's love and grace are for everyone. Doesn't matter if you've been following Him your whole life or if you've just started. God's reward, His kingdom, is the same for all who believe in Him. Sometimes we might think, "That's not fair." But this story reminds us that God's fairness is different from ours. He is generous and kind to everyone, and we should be too. How does this apply to you? Be thankful for God's love. Instead of comparing what you have with others, focus on how much God has given you. Celebrate others' blessings. When someone else is blessed, cheer them on. Share God's love. Just like the landowner invited everyone to work, God invites everyone to be part of His kingdom. Questions to think about. How would you feel if you were one of the workers hired early in the morning? Why do you think the landowner gave the same pay to everyone? How can you show kindness to others, just like the landowner did? Lessons from the story. God's grace is for everyone. No matter when you start following God, His love and reward are the same. Don't compare yourself to others. Focus on what God has given you and be grateful. Celebrate generosity. God's kindness to others doesn't take away from His kindness to you. The next time you see someone being blessed, remember this story. God's love is big enough for everyone, and we can trust Him to always be good and fair. Thanks for staying with us. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Bible-based stories.